Today we're going to talk about shrinkflation once again. It is November 15th. It's been a week since our last update. This is kind of like my therapy session now where I discuss all these shrinkflated products and complain about them, and you guys learn about them as well. So let's switch to the screen capture and start with your friend and mine, Betty Crocker, who already reduced their cake mix sizes in the US, if you didn't know, multiple times. But this is Canada now, where it is apparently even smaller again, which is funny. And this is a good comment, right? This is so interesting to me because while cake gets smaller, cake pans do not. And it is very obvious. If you've made homemade cakes, you can definitely tell the difference. Very obvious on a cake mix, and this should be incredibly cheap because it's a cake mix. It's not like some expensive product to make. It's insane. So yeah, Betty Crocker cake mix is just not even worth getting anywhere, I guess. Not even in Canada, not in the US. Let's move on to something that's not food with an interesting picture. This picture is a little squeezed, but there is, in fact, the real pictures right here to compare. This is Hobby Lobby wood, essentially a wood plaque. So if you're like, an artist or whatever, and you want to draw, you paint wood or whatever, or make this part of a project, I don't know. You get four wood little plaques, and it went from 401 inches across to 3.37 inches across. I mean, 4.01 inches across to 3.37 inches across. And then this one is 3.8, and this one is 3.1. It's crazy how something that's labeled as a 4-inch plaque can be under 4 inches. That doesn't make sense to me. I understand there can be a little difference. If it was maybe 3.9 inches, everybody would understand, especially since it's wood. But this is clearly just them making it smaller on purpose to save a little bit of money, which is great. Cliff Bars, I feel like I've talked about them every week. They keep coming up, but I want to talk about this one in particular because there were some comments. Like the first comment is not bad compared to some I've been seeing. 16.6% less product for 14.4% less money. 97 cents each versus 95 cents each. And then this guy says that's with the 50-cent savings. But the important part is we should call all these out, and that's why I make these videos. Like, I don't think Cliff Bar should be separate from any other product, because not only is this not the first time they've done shrinkflation, they seem to do it all the time. Like, they constantly are shrinkflating their products. I've talked about it so many times, but this is you losing money. This is them raising the price, even if it is, in fact, an increase of 2.48 cents per bar. It's not acceptable, in my opinion. So it doesn't matter what company it is. If it's a corporation that makes a product, then it's not acceptable for them to do it. That's it. Whether it's 2 cents or 25 cents, it's bullshit. Let's move on. This was an interesting one. I had to go through this because these are all filled this way, and I wasn't sure if it was a defect or not. And I'm still not really sure if it's a defect. But then you read through the comments, the 3.6 ounce giveaway. I'm betting it used to be 4 ounces, and they shrunk it down, but they didn't change the plastic packaging because that would cost more money. And I think this guy is 100% correct with that. I don't know what just happened there. I think the guy's 100% correct with that reasoning. It's definitely a case of they didn't want to retool their factory line, so they just kept the same plastic bottles, so they didn't have to spend money making smaller bottles, but filled it with less herbs, which is, insane. Next, oh, that's what happened. I'm not good with the internet. This I don't know. La Roche Posay. I don't know what this is. It's it's a skin cream, whatever. But they're blatant about it. They new look, same formula. Now is 60% less plastic, but also 20% less contents. That's funny. The way they get it out there to try and trick you by saying, "Hey, it's got 60% less plastic," but without mentioning that it is less product is exactly what they do, which is just funny. This one I think is actually missing chicken nugget or whatever, but I just wanted to talk about this one because I'd never seen this particular Lunchable, and it's so horrifying that I had to mention it. Like, what kind of Lunchable is 4 chicken nuggets, a block of processed American cheese, like a little brick of American cheese, a couple little cookies and pretzels. Like, what kind of lunch is that? It turns out it's called kebabbles, and it makes no sense. Like, even if you look up the kebabbles, which I'll do right now, like, you can see the picture on the front of the kebabble, and it's like they're trying to make it like a game. Like, oh, look, you can make chicken cheese thing with pretzels connecting them. Like, it doesn't make sense. This is not a lunch. None of these things really go together, and it's just funny to me. This, I don't know what is up with this. If you're on Reddit, you might have seen some of these ads. It's like, I guess somebody, I don't know if it's Kroger or multiple companies or what is going on here, but somebody in advertising has decided that tiny food is fun, which it is, but not when it's a grocery store using it to advertise. That makes it not fun, because immediately everybody sees this and thinks about the fact that their grocery bills are higher and everything is smaller. So Kroger, whoever's in the marketing department for this should be fired, because this is not a fun idea for them. This could be a fun advertising campaign for somebody else, but not for a grocery store. Quick one, rice. I think I covered another rice that got shrunk this way, but going from 1 kilogram to 900 grams is insane for rice, because it's rice. It's one of the cheapest things on earth, and they're shrinkflating even rice, which is a staple product that pretty much everybody, like, not everybody, but I think a large part of the planet relies on daily to eat, and that's terrible. This, I think, is the perfect example of a shrinkflated product that you can drop easily and immediately and not feel bad about it. And this is like the perfect product, I think, for an example of a shrinkflated product that's kind of ruining its own appeal, essentially, because we're talking about potato skins, frozen potato skins. The only people who are going to buy these in the first place are people like me, who are lazy and like frozen food, or want like a lazy snack or whatever, or maybe for a game day thing or something, but I don't know how many people really do that. But my point is, this is going to be noticed, and once it's noticed, it's the easiest thing in the world to cut out, because you're talking about a $7.99 frozen product that nobody really needs. It's not a staple. It's just pure junk food. It's not a meal. It's just a junk food snack, and something that should immediately be written off. Like, if you see any product like this, it's easy, at least for me, to just write it off immediately. This is like crap. So I'm gonna save this one for later because it's the most annoying to me. Right here we have, this is like Australia, so I can't confirm or deny this, but it seems pretty clear to me, and I think what's going on here is that they just introduced the new 150 gram bar. They have 100 sold of the other one because they're getting rid of it, and they have it at the same price. This guy goes in on it here. I've never seen multiple size options for blocks. I've been eating my whole life. They went from 250, 220 to 200 to 180, and now 150. The large blocks that used to be 500 are now 380, and some people agree with them. So I'm going to assume that's correct, and that we can also say fuck Cadbury, but you could have said that before. They were already bad company. This one is personal to me. Not really, but it feels like it, because I'm an Arizona guy. I grew up on the West Coast. Everybody drank Arizona tea. It was like a thing. Like, you go to the gas station and get an Arizona for 99 cents. That was like my childhood. And seeing them reduce the size, to seeing them shrinkflate, really is like, it personally hurts me, specifically because it was like a couple years ago, the CEO of the company came out and said, hey, we're not going to raise the price. We're going to keep it 99 cents. All these other companies are raising their price. We'll absorb the cost because we're still technically profiting, which is exactly what a company should do. And I really appreciated that. But apparently that didn't last. And I would have appreciated if they would have just said, hey, it's 109 now. Literally, just raise the price 10 cents. I don't think anybody would care. But when you do it like this and shrink it by an ounce, just like hoping people won't notice, then suddenly I don't want to buy Arizona anymore, and I'm sorry about the noise. This is another reminder of Hot Pockets. Again, took out the sleeve. Fuck Hot Pockets, never buy them. Another personal hurt right here, Taco Bell. New 780 milliliters, old 860 milliliters. They shrunk their large cup from 32 ounces, I believe, to 28 ounces. Which is saving them, probably 1 cent. or 2 cents a cup, and isn't really a big deal in the grand scheme of things. And I want to say, first of all, if anybody says you shouldn't drink that much soda anyway, just fuck off. Everybody who drinks soda knows that you shouldn't drink soda. Just stop being an asshole about it. Because there's definitely some people in here like this. Yes, this is a bad sign. Nobody else outside the USA will drink a half a gallon. Taco Bell, blah, blah, blah. There's a couple people in here that piss me off with this. I don't mind. Same prices though, so fuck them. But the point is, yes, this is a reduction, even though technically you shouldn't drink that much soda, as I say, and as every annoying person says. But fuck them. Tom's of Maine, interesting. I used to use this toothpaste specifically. I switched to Crest. I don't know why. I think because it was cheaper. And Tom's of Maine is kind of an expensive brand, so I couldn't really afford it anymore. But I haven't bought it in probably 3 or 4 years, and apparently they've lowered the amount of toothpaste you get in a tube, which is insane to me. Like, this is like a travel size tube. So we're so far in the world of shrinkflation that the regular tube of toothpaste is now travel size. So what's travel size going to be? Because we're entering the world of we're going to be under 3 ounces probably pretty soon. So what are we going to do then? Like, we're crossing the Rubicon on that one. Coles, again, don't know what this is. It's Australian, but I want to point this out just in case there is somebody Australian watching, because this is a despicable tactic where now they have a 12-pack instead of a 10-pack, but all the bars are way smaller, so you are, in fact, getting less. But they make it seem like you're getting more with this new recipe and a 12-pack instead of a 10-pack, which just sucks. Now, I want to talk about this one. This is the one I want to talk about the most. This post where somebody reached out after they bought some Honey Maid graham crackers and said, hey, what's up with the shrinkflation? And this is the response they get. I'll read it straight up. From Mondelez International, one of the biggest snack companies in the world. Hi, Alicia. Thank you for reaching out. We appreciate your feedback and would like you to know that we always aim to provide the right value to our consumers. I want to go line by line on this because I think one of the keys of understanding like company shrinkflation is being able to parse out PR answers and what they're actually saying. We appreciate your feedback and would like to know that we always aim to provide the right value to our consumers. They're using specific words there, value to consumers, because they don't want to say anything specific. They want it to be value is nebulous because that means they can change the size and the price and still have it be of value. In today's economic environment, in which many consumers have tight budgets, this is where I got pissed off. We look at the whole picture and evaluate how we can provide value through price, size, and packaging, which is basically them saying, we shrinkflate. We look at our stuff and see how we can shrink it instead of raising the price to screw you over. That's what that means. We listen closely to our consumers. That's just a lie. We found that many would prefer to have a slightly smaller package size instead of an increased cost. This one really pissed me off and led me down a rabbit hole of a research study which basically said that, yeah, in a like blind study, people do prefer a slightly smaller package size instead of an increased cost, right? But the important part about that study is, and not that study particularly, but the important part about that statement is that it's secretly done. Like, shrinkflation is not announced. That's the detail that needs to be inspected. Yes, if you tell someone, would you rather have a 12-pack for $5 or a 10-pack for $4, let's say. There's definitely some people that might choose the 10-pack for $4, even though it's a worse value, because they prefer to have a cheaper product for a smaller size, which I understand. That makes sense. But if you don't tell them that it used to be a 12-pack and now it's a 10-pack, they'll never know. That's the important part. They say, which is true in a straight-up ask, if you ask somebody, they would rather have a slightly smaller package instead of an increased cost. I think a lot of people would agree with that. It seems like an obvious statement to agree with on its face. Like, I think if you ask that question on a survey, which is probably what they did, people would say, yeah, sure, I'd prefer that you reduce the package a little bit instead of increasing the price. The problem with that is they reduce the package and increase the price almost every time. Like, shrinkflation is almost never, if it's not just straight like cost shrinkflation and they keep the price the same, most of the time they also raise the price at the same time as they cut the product. They get it on both ends. And this statement is just a blatant fucking lie. I mean, it's not a lie, but it's the corporate speak that really pisses me off on these. Like, it's the straight up like facade. It's the lying by omission, the gaslighting, I should say. That's what this is. A perfect word. Gaslighting. The fact that as a consumer, when you complain to a company, they literally will gaslight you and tell you that as a consumer, you should prefer a smaller package because that's what consumers prefer, is just ludicrous and frankly infuriating. They can still enjoy our products at a price that works within their budgets, which is, again, not true because they continue to raise the price. I can tell you this, I'm not buying fucking Honey Maid graham crackers because they're like twice the cost of a generic graham cracker for literally no reason. But thanks. As always, we will continue to listen to feedback and always strive to provide the best solution to our customers' needs. Not true at all, because you just replied to this complaint by just gaslighting a person and not actually listening to the feedback and providing a solution. So that's not true. Again, thank you for contacting us regarding this matter, and we hope you continue to enjoy our products. Well, I'm not. Thanks. Now, the problem with this is Mondelez makes so many things. Like, I don't even want to pull up the, like, thing. I guess I should. Let's see if we can find the graph, the images of what Mondelez owns. So Mondelez, here, we've got Ritz, Oreos, Belvita, Chips Ahoy, Triscuit, all these. Oh, look, it's your favorite and mine, Cadbury. That's interesting. So yeah, Mondelez is above a lot of nice products. Oreos, of course, which are hitting hard with shrinkflation right now. Cadbury, also hitting hard with shrinkflation right now. I'm going to assume that these other products are probably also experiencing shrinkflation to a hard degree because every other Mondelez product seems to be. So yeah, if you see any of these products, any of these brand names you recognize, Triscuits, Ritz, Tate's, Toblerone, Milka, Oreo, Cadbury, Belvita, know that the company that oversees them literally doesn't give a shit about you and will instead, when you tell them that they're shrinkflating their products, they'll come back to you in a condescending manner and tell you that no, you prefer the smaller product, so just shut up and fucking take it. That's what this letter is. I hope you continue to enjoy our products. How about fuck you? That's the end of this video. Thanks for watching, and I will see you all next time, except one quick thing. Q-tips, I forgot, I didn't put this up here. Q-tips are also apparently like half the size they used to be and extremely flimsy, which is fucking hilarious to me. The actual brand name Q-tips. So if you're a person who bought brand name Q-tips because they were better quality than like a Dollar Tree Q-tip, they're not anymore. So just buy the generic Q-tips or whatever ear thing, because Q-tip is the name brand, and it's a brand that should die forever. So fuck Q-tip, and I will see you all next time.